uh, the 15th of March. Hey, it's time to spend a little bit of in the Word with Pastor Kory or devotion time with Pastor Kory, however it is. And last week, as you know, I know these come out live, but I pre-record them. And apparently, last week I thought about sending it out at midnight. I don't know why I did that, uh, but it was still out there for you to see it and to connect. But we're gonna continue walking in this book right here. It's 365 essential questions from the Bible, a daily devotion. That's 365. We only do it Wednesdays, so that's a lot of devotion time that we have together, going over what it is and what we're doing. But I want to remind you, not just Wednesday in the Word time for you, but we have Wednesday evenings at 6:30 for Bible study. We've got Sunday morning worship at 10:30 a.m. And then again at 6 we have Bible study, and we're looking at changing some of the ways of doing it. We're looking at adding in our youth ministry program, so it may look like a prayer time, maybe only two Sundays a month, and youth on two Sundays a month. We're trying to figure that out. But I do know one thing. One thing is going to be exciting this year. This year we are going to do a Good Friday service. We're gonna gather together for a Good Friday service at 6:30 on Good Friday. Again, Good Friday. That's Friday before Easter Sunday. The greatest Friday in the world, because if we didn't have Good Friday, we wouldn't have Resurrection Sunday. Well, we're going to do that this year, 6:30 p.m. here, 22 East Poplar Street, North Vernon, Indiana. We'd love to invite you, your friends, your neighbors to come on out to that. But hey, we're going to jump in to today's conversation. He hears our cries for help, right? That comes out of Genesis 21:17 is where we're getting it, where the question is, what is the matter, Hagar, right? So again, I want to read to you Genesis 21:8-17, and then we're going to kind of walk together, all right? It says, when Isaac grew up and was about to be weaned, Abraham prepared a huge feast to celebrate the occasion. But Sarah saw Ishmael, the son of Abraham, and her Egyptian servant Hagar making fun of her son, Isaac. So she turned to Abraham and demanded, get rid of that slave woman and her son. He's not going to share the inheritance with my son, Isaac. I won't have it. This upset Abraham very much because Ishmael was his son. But God told Abraham, do not be upset over the boy and your servant. Do what Sarah tells you, for Isaac is the son through whom your descendants will be counted. But I will also make a nation of descendants of Hagar's son, because he is your son too. So Abraham got up early that morning, prepared food and a container of water, and strapped them on Hagar's shoulders. Then he sent her away with their son, and she wandered aimlessly in the wilderness of Beersheba. When the water was gone, she put the boy in the shade of a bush. Then she went and sat down by herself 100 yards away. I don't want to watch the boy die, she said as she burst into tears. But God heard the boy crying, and the angel of God called to Hagar from heaven. What's the matter? Don't be afraid. God has heard the boy crying as he lies there. Again, that comes from Genesis 21:8-17. So let me just tell you, that's the story of a woman and her son who had been abandoned and forced to fend for themselves. I mean, Abraham, at the instance of his wife, reluctantly sent the Egyptian servant, the mother of Ishmael, away with little more than a canteen full of water and maybe some crumbs, some bread. And we saw as we read that it wasn't long after Hagar came to the end of the rope, along with out food or water, she lost hope. She lost hope, convinced that Ishmael was going to die. She began to weep. And we saw that in verse 15 and 16. But when God heard her cries and Ishmael's voice, he sent an angel to comfort Hagar, then to cause her to see a nearby source of water. Abraham was worried sick about his son Ishmael, but he was severely limited in what he could do. God, however, was under no such limitations. God had no limitations. As he still does for us today, right? As he still sits there on that throne today, he's still there. He reached into a hopeless situation and offered comfort and provision. He reached in for that comfort and provision, right? See, God didn't forget both Hagar, and Ishmael, right? Didn't forget those two, right? And here's the crazy thing, and he'll never forget us either. He didn't forget them. He ain't going to forget us. See, his chosen people, when we're in a place where we are in short supply of comfort, he'll never forgive us. He'll never, right? That's what I'm saying. In those short times, in those places. I like what the Apostle Paul or Paul summarized in Philippians 4:19. Because it's a promise he wrote. He said, my God will meet all your needs. My God will meet all your needs according to the riches of his glory in Christ Jesus. So maybe that's you today. You're feeling a little short on hope today. Here's my thing. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to cry out, to wail, to weep. Don't be afraid to do so. And weep and cry out to God, saying, I need you. Because he promises to meet all your needs. Our devotion this morning says he hears our cries for help. He hears our cries for help. Hey, hopefully today's little devotion meets you where you're at. But again, we'd love to connect with you Wednesday evenings at 6:30, Sunday mornings 10:30, Sunday evenings are now 6 p.m. For prayer time. Then we're looking at transitioning to have that, like I said, to twice a month, every other Sunday, and then youth group is looking at being in between those. But I'm also excited, like I said earlier, that we're going to be doing a Good Friday service. So we'd love to invite you, your friends, your neighbor, your loved ones, come on out on Good Friday to service here at 6:30, and that is going to be a great time of fellowship, and it's going to be a great time to just listen and learn. Because I want to remind you, though, as I say that, Good Friday falls on April 7th, okay? I didn't say that earlier. I forgot. I should say that to you. So come on out. It may not be a traditional service you're used to. It may be. We're still trying to develop that, the way that it's going to look. But we'd like to invite you, especially to come out to Good Friday. But we'd love to invite you to Wednesday evenings, Sunday mornings, Wednesday evening activities. All together, we'd love to invite you and your friends, your loved ones to come on out, 22 East Poplar Street, North Vernon,